So the first goal of lecture 5 is to finish up our discussion on the rotation tensor by considering a few applications. Okay, the first application has to do with how to relate two given Cartesian coordinate systems. Let me try and draw them over here. So here is my first coordinate system, E1, E2, E3, okay, and the other one I'll draw in a different color. So that's, let's say, E1 prime, E2 prime, okay, choice, E3 prime, okay. So this is this coordinate system E prime, while this is the coordinate system E. Both these coordinate systems have the same origin. Let us say it doesn't really matter what the origin is. For convenience, I am just taking it to be the same origin. Okay, so the fundamental question is, how do I relate this coordinate system to that one? One way to do that is to try and relate these unit vectors of E prime to the unit vectors of E. And what would you do? Well, what you would do is you would start off by any unit vector Ej prime and write it in terms of the unit vectors of Ei by projecting it along Ei, and that's the standard equation that we have for projecting any vector in terms of unit vectors of a coordinate system. Then you will see that what I have gone here is that I have gone and defined this as Rij. Okay, so Rij is Ej prime dot Ei. Okay, and now here is the crucial thing, is that I am going to prove to you that the tensor that I define R with Rij given by these, okay, so that's Rij, and Rij is this is a rotation tensor. Okay, all right, so let's kind of prove that. So the first step to proving something is a rotation tensor is to prove that it is an orthogonal tensor. So what we have over here is that, okay, so we have R to be given is given by Ej prime dot Ei tensor Ej. I should note something before I begin the proof. Note how I have colored J here. You should know that it is Rij, but it's Ej prime dot Ei. Okay, so it's a common mistake to forget the order in which J and I occur over here. Okay, so if it is Rij, it is Ej prime dot Ei. Okay, all right. Okay, so just be careful of this ordering. Okay, back to our proof. So what we have was, we have written out R, and how do I prove something is an orthogonal tensor? Well, I take any vector A, I operate R dot A, and I ask the question, is this preserving the length of A? Well, let A be AK EK, then R dot A is Rij Aj Ei. I've skipped a few steps here which you can fill in, and let's look at the length of R dot A. Okay, so R dot A, let's look at the square, so that is Rij Aj Ei. This is a vector, that's a vector. If I want to find the length of the vector, I have to take the dot product of the vector with itself. Okay, that's a dummy index, so I can't have it, so I can give it a different, that's also a dummy index, so I am simply going to write RPQ AQ EP. Okay, and Ei dot EP, that's delta IP. So I am going to get back R delta IP Rij RIQ AJ AQ. All right, so let's just make sure that everything is kosher in terms of the indices. I, J, J, Q, Q, everything looks okay. All right, now I will substitute for Rij from this, from its definition here, okay, that Rij is Ej prime dot Ei. So this is going to be Ej prime dot Ei, okay, that's Rij, and then Riq is going to be Eq prime dot Ei, and then I have Aj Aq. All right, Eq prime, let's not forget this. Okay, so now I can write this as Ej prime dot Ei tensor Ei dot Eq prime, okay, Aj Aq. Now this fellow over here is simply the identity tensor. Okay, if that is the case, then okay, I need some space, so I am going to grab hold of all of this rather than go to a next different page. I am going to shift it up a little bit. That gives me some space. So this is really Ej prime dot 1 dot Eq prime Aj Aq. Okay, now this is simply delta JQ, right? So this is delta JQ Aj Aq, which is a square. So indeed R dot A, the length of R dot A is same as A, and therefore I have shown that, let's write it in red, that the answer is yes, and R is orthogonal. Okay, but that's not my only claim. My claim is R is a rotation tensor. That means I have to now show, okay, so to show R is orthogonal, sorry, that I have already shown, to show that R is a rotation tensor, need to show that determinant of R is +1, and that I will leave you to show. And here is a hint: consider the change in volume of the box defined by EI, right? So E1, E2, E3 define a box. Consider the change in volume of this box defined by EI under the action of R defined by this. Okay, so that I leave to you. In the end, you will find that R is indeed a rotation tensor. So what is the consequence of this? The consequence is pretty important, that I began with a Cartesian coordinate system. I drew two Cartesian coordinate systems, E and E prime, and what I have just shown to you is that I can produce a rotation tensor R, which relates the unit vectors of the original Cartesian coordinate system with the unit vectors of this another Cartesian coordinate system. And of course you can take R to this side and you can write down this equation. Okay, so they are both the same. So what we have just shown is that R defined by this formula, R is Ej prime Ei, Ei tensor Ej. Okay, so let me color code it for your convenience. Remember that it is Ej prime. Okay, note how these two are on the sequencing Ji, Ij. So this this tensor R is able to rotate the unit vectors of the first coordinate system to the unit vectors of the other coordinate system, while R transpose rotates EI prime, the new coordinate system, back to the original coordinate system. Okay, so that's a rotation tensor given any two coordinate systems, as we will see, we can find a rotation tensor to relate them. That's what I am saying in the implication. I give you any two coordinate systems, as long as they are Cartesian, I can find a rotation tensor given by this explicit formula, which takes the first Cartesian coordinate system to the other and brings it back. The R transpose brings it back. Okay, in the formula there is only one thing to remember, that if you are going from E to E1, from EI to EI prime, make sure that the sequencing of the indices is correct. I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay, alright, so that's the first application. Okay, we continue with the rotation tensor and consider another set of applications. Let's consider two rotation tensors, R1 and R2. The first thing that you can prove very easily is that the product of the two rotation tensors is also a rotation tensor, and in this case you should note that just like as in matrices, the order of operation matters. So rotation R1 followed by rotation R2 is not the same as rotation R2 followed by rotation R1, and I will not prove that to you right now. I don't have to prove. I will show you an example in the following lecture. Okay, right now just remember the order matters. Okay, now let's look at this example. So let's see, I have unit vectors EI which describe a coordinate system E. Okay, and let me operate with R1 on EI to produce another vector EI prime, and then let me operate with R2 on EI prime to produce another vector EI double prime. Then these two, when you combine them, you will get that EI double prime is actually R2 dot R1 dot EI, which is the same as R2 dot R1 dot EI, and which is really R dot EI, which we have just seen that R is also a rotation tensor. So therefore rotations which follow each other can be combined successively. So we have successive rotations of EI prime. Okay, so EI is rotated by R1 to give EI prime, which is rotated by R2 to give EI double prime. Okay, so that's successive rotations, and this can actually be understood in terms of coordinate systems. So here I have three coordinate systems: E given with unit vectors EI, E1 with unit vectors EI prime, E2 with unit vectors EI double prime. And what we saw in the previous application was between any two vectors, any two coordinate systems E and E1. So I have E and E1. I can always find a coordinate system which takes, okay, I can always find a rotation tensor which takes E to E1 and brings it back by R1 transpose. So that is what we discussed in the previous slide. Similarly, between E1 and E2, I can find another rotation tensor, call it R2, and which comes back by R2 transpose. Okay, that's what I have written over here. So given E and E1, I can find R1. Given E1 and E2, I can find R2. Okay, but then I can concatenate them. I can put them together as R2 dot R1, so that I can go directly from E to E2, E to E2, which is what I have done over here. And R would be r2 dot r1, and the and the logic would follow basically this kind of a setup, right? So what we so that's successive rotations of a coordinate system. Finally, you should note that if you take two rotation tensors and add them, the output is not a rotation tensor. That is very easily shown by one counter example. Let us take R in some coordinate system to be cosine theta minus sine theta, sine theta, cosine theta 0 0 1. We showed in the previous lectures that something like this is a rotation tensor, corresponds to a rotation tensor. And then let's look at this object. So R plus R transpose, when it operates on A, you can show is not equal to, it does not preserve the length of A. So therefore the addition is not a rotation tensor. Remember that, because tensor, the addition of two rotations is not a rotation tensor, but you know that addition of two vectors is a vector, and this will be important in subsequent lectures. Okay.